Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. At the 78th Annual Cannes Film Festival, all eyes were on the Grand Théâtre Lumière. Christopher McQuarrie, the mastermind behind the latter half of the Mission Impossible saga, stepped onto the stage in a pale peach suit, exuding calm confidence. The crowd was buzzing, not just for him, but for the man everyone knew would eventually show up. As McQuarrie fielded questions about his illustrious writing and directing career, from the twist-filled The Usual Suspects to the gritty Way of the Gun, anticipation built. Suddenly, in walked Tom Cruise, clad in a casual maroon ensemble, instantly shifting the energy of the room. The audience erupted. This wasn't just another panel, it was a moment of cinematic history. Cruise and McQuarrie had worked on 11 films together, their partnership growing stronger with each blockbuster. And now, with Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, they were here to reflect on their wildest ride yet. While the film is marketed as the final chapter, Cruise's sudden appearance and the open-ended nature of the IMAX premiere hinted at more to come. Paramount's ambitions were clear. After a disappointing box office performance by the last installment, this $400 million spectacle had to deliver. The duo's presence at Cannes wasn't just promotional, it was a declaration. A reminder that the big screen still matters. Christopher McQuarrie took a moment to speak not just as a director, but as a believer in cinema's future. He described the theater as a sacred place, a communal experience that streaming could never replace. "Are you going to be an artist? Or are you going to be an entertainer and an artist?" he asked rhetorically. For him, cinema must be both. The Mission Impossible films are a vessel for merging explosive entertainment with deeper themes. This film, like the ones before it, isn't just about Ethan Hunt saving the world. It's about pushing the boundaries of what film can be. McQuarrie lamented how the industry has become increasingly cutthroat, with studios undercutting one another's releases. Instead, he and Cruise advocate for mutual support, viewing cinema as a mechanism that must be nurtured. Top Gun Maverick wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural deposit, a boost for the entire theatrical ecosystem. And that's what they hope The Final Reckoning will be too. These aren't just action movies, they're cinematic events, carefully crafted to bring audiences back to the theater. McQuarrie and Cruise see their work as part of something larger, a mission to save cinema itself. For Cruise and McQuarrie, storytelling begins long before the cameras roll. The Mission films are known for their jaw-dropping stunts, but the foundation is always character. "It's not complicated," said Cruise. "We love movies. We love telling stories. While the set pieces are planned down to the last detail, the emotional heartbeat of the film remains fluid. It evolves with the characters." In this installment, Hunt must retrieve the original source code of a cyber entity threatening to unleash global nuclear chaos. To do so, he plunges into the Arctic to find a sunken Soviet submarine. The underwater sequence was filmed in massive rotating tanks, simulating the extreme conditions of the Arctic Ocean. Cruise emphasized that executing such scenes requires a team of engineers, artists, and technicians, all working like the gears of a Swiss watch. Every frame is designed to maintain audience investment, not just in the action, but in the people enduring it. What unfolds on screen is more than a technical marvel. It's the result of years of experimentation and an obsessive pursuit of perfection. The submarine sequence is a stunning fusion of engineering and art. McQuarrie revealed that they constructed a fully submersible steel drum, 60 feet in diameter, weighing over 1,000 tons, within an 8.5 million-liter tank. Inside, they built a semi-submerged rotating room to simulate the claustrophobic interior of a sinking submarine. When Cruise steps into that spinning metal tomb, what audiences see is not CGI, it's reality. The camera team had to account for the fact that the set would be constantly moving. Every shot had to be anticipated. They built small models, only to see their plastic test figures smashed under simulated conditions. There was no way to rehearse. The real test came when the cameras rolled. The level of precision required is staggering. As Cruise held his breath and navigated the flooding set, the filmmakers had to guess, based on physics and gut instinct, where to place each camera so it would capture the action. This wasn't just a stunt. It was a feat of cinematic engineering that pushed everyone to their limits. If the submarine was an engineering marvel, the aerial biplane sequence was sheer madness. It began when McQuarrie, almost jokingly, showed Cruise a TikTok video of a daredevil walking on a plane wing. Cruise's immediate response? "I could do that." The initial idea was shot down by professional wing walkers, who deemed Cruise's Vision, achieving zero gravity between the wings, too dangerous. But Cruise wasn't deterred. He understood the physics. He flew jets. He piloted helicopters. And most importantly, he believed it could be done, so they designed it themselves. Cameras were positioned between the wings. Cruise would fly the biplane alone, performing stunts thousands of feet above the African desert. The challenge wasn't just flying, it was filming. Cruise needed to hit his marks, fly in sync with the sun, and operate the focus manually, all while enduring 140-mile-per-hour winds. There were no second chances. Every take required complete precision and trust. This was no green screen fantasy. It was real. And it was dangerous. The biplane scene was unlike anything audiences have seen. Imagine this. Tom Cruise, standing on the wing of a moving biplane, thousands of feet in the air, wind tearing past him at 140 miles per hour. But it doesn't stop there. He's not just riding the plane, he's controlling the plane. Cruise operates the stick and throttle with one hand, adjusts camera focus with the other, all while performing a steep dive. As the plane plunges, he turns his body perpendicular to the horizon, letting gravity do its worst. There's no rig, no CGI safety net, only a parachute hidden beneath his clothes, just in case. The stunt had to be performed at sunrise for optimal lighting, giving them just 30 minutes a day to capture the shot, and they needed the biplane to align perfectly with the rising sun, otherwise the golden light would be lost. The margin of error was microscopic. Cruise's team tracked the solar trajectory and rehearsed using GPS-based flight simulations, but the real moment only came in the air. With cameras strapped to every angle of the aircraft, and Macquarie watching nervously from a helicopter above, Cruise launched into the skies. What unfolded was a ballet of insanity, precision, wrapped in adrenaline. Each frame captured the raw exhilaration of man-defying gravity and logic at once. Despite the rehearsals, there was only one real take that mattered. As Macquarie explained, once you're up in the air, time and physics become your enemy. The camera batteries only last so long. The light changes every second. The pilot, Cruise, has only one chance to execute every move perfectly. And the biplane is not exactly a forgiving aircraft. Built for crop dusting and stunt work, its controls are mechanical and harsh. Add to that the lack of a second pilot, and Cruise had to rely entirely on his instincts. He navigated the aircraft by feel, adjusting pitch and roll while maintaining the exact path needed for the cameras to catch every nuance. Macquarie and his team weren't just watching from below. They were biting their nails, praying the footage came out. When Cruise landed, exhausted and grinning, the memory cards were rushed to a mobile editing suite. The footage was reviewed in silence. Then, as the first few seconds played out in stunning clarity, the room erupted. They had done it. They had captured something never seen before, a real-life superhero moment, with no wires, no trickery, just sheer audacity and precision. While audiences see only the final product, sweaty palms and gasps in a darkened theater, what they don't see is the immense cost and risk involved. Macquarie admitted that each sequence cost millions to plan and execute. You can't just fake this stuff, he said, and when it goes wrong, it really goes wrong. Cruise doesn't just perform stunts, he immerses himself in them, body and soul. Months of training go into each sequence. For the submarine, he took cold immersion therapy. For the biplane, he studied with aviation experts to understand flight patterns, wind shear, and sun position. Insurance companies refused to cover most of the stunts. Paramount had to create bespoke risk models just to greenlight them. But for Cruise and Macquarie, it's worth it. This is what audiences deserve, Cruise says. Something real. Something that makes you feel alive. The realism also impacts the emotional weight of the story. When Ethan Hunt runs, you know it's Cruise running. When he leaps or crashes or sinks into icy waters, the stakes feel real. Because they are. Every bruise, every scream, every heartbeat is authentic. Mission. Impossible. The final reckoning isn't just a film, it's a campaign to restore cinema's glory. After the box office disappointment of Dead Reckoning Part 1, Cruise and Macquarie knew they had to elevate the sequel beyond anything they'd ever done. This was about proving that theatrical spectacle still mattered, that audiences wanted more than safe, streaming-era content. They wanted edge, danger, truth. Cruise likens it to old-school showmanship. When I was a kid, the movies were where you saw the impossible, he said. I want to bring that feeling back. The film's release is timed carefully, with marketing aimed at eventizing it. IMAX screenings, behind-the-scenes features, Real-time reactions from stunned fans. Everything is designed to remind people that watching a film should be a visceral, unforgettable experience. Cruise isn't planning to slow down. Despite the film's name, he hints that there's more to come. As long as people keep showing up, I'll keep jumping off cliffs, he laughs. For him, every mission is a promise, to thrill, to entertain, and to defend the sanctity of the movie theater. As the credits roll on The Final Reckoning, audiences may find themselves wondering, was that really the end? The film concludes Ethan Hunt's arc with a kind of poetic ambiguity, a nod to the legacy he leaves behind. But Cruise is careful not to confirm anything. We called it final because that's what it felt like when we were making it, McQuarrie said at Cannes. But stories have a way of continuing. Fans speculate that the ending is just a new beginning, that Hunt's story might evolve into something else, maybe a mentor, maybe a ghost. But one thing is clear, Tom Cruise isn't done. He still has fire in his eyes, a hunger for the edge. Whether it's riding a biplane or diving into an Arctic tomb, he remains committed to doing what no one else will. And that's what keeps audiences coming back. Cruise isn't just playing a character, he's living the mission. And as long as he's willing to risk it all, cinema will never be the same. The final mission? Maybe. But for Tom Cruise, the real mission is keeping the magic alive.